Okay. All right. Good morning. Happy Monday. I got my dragonfly cup. I'm always backwards on this. Isn't it gorgeous? My mother-in-law got me that. And inside of it, in case you want to know, I have matcha and collagen. Matcha and collagen. I've been making sure to drink this every day. It's super awesome for your skin. I'm talking about regular life really quick while I wait for some of you to jump on, because this is going to be a powerful training. My green juice. I don't know if you could see it without me spilling it. The green juice. Dragonfly power. So I'm going to record this on the podcast too. So let me know when you guys are here. Hi. Okay, I can see you now. Hey, Heather. You're going to love this, Heather. I know you are. So hold on. Let me start recording this for the podcast. Sometimes this thing's a little janky. There we go. You guys, I've been going through so much growth in my personal and business life. And I'd love to share the aha moments that I get. I love to share the things that I've implemented into my own life that have absolutely worked for me. And this thing that I'm going to be talking about is something that you're going to be doing over and over and over in your life. So you guys, I want to know, are you guys ready to get uncomfortable? Because all of this growth is uncomfortable. And so if you're going to be listening or watching this training in our group, your Spiritual Awakening community, or listening on our awesome podcast, the Craving Consciousness podcast, right? Heather says, I'm ready to get uncomfortable. So we're talking a mixture of empowerment, quantum physics, the law of attraction, consciously creating your life. That's what we talk about here, right? And consciously creating your business. Well, I want to share with you guys that everything you see outside of yourself, I say it all the time, is a reflection of who you believe yourself to be. So if you want to start seeing something different outside of yourself, then you need to start thinking about yourself in a different way, right? You need to embody the identity of the person, not necessarily the person, but you need to embody the identity of who you would be in order to be, do and have what it is that you want, right? So I want to ask you guys right now, who do you see yourself to be right now? Some of us are mothers, grandmothers, right? But I'm talking like in a bigger scale. I'm talking about if you could label yourself, if you could give yourself a label, then, and at first it's scary as hell, because the first question you're going to say is, who am I to be this label? But that is the step that you need to take in order for it to sink in, right? Through thought. I was just talking about thought witches and stuff. Well, I'll have to do a podcast on that too. But what happens when you start saying, yes, I am this. At first you don't believe it. You're like, who am I to say I am this, right? But then you're like, well, maybe. but the fact that you're allowing yourself to come up with a label is opening yourself up to the fact that you can claim whatever it is that you want to become in your life. You're not going to get whatever that identity has until you step into that identity. So I want to hear you guys. I want to see you guys drop in some comments today about who it is that you're wanting to become, right? Or so maybe your new label is, I'll give you some examples. Maybe your new label is, I make $1 million a year through my business. Maybe your new label is, I am Spiritual Awakening Babe. I help people awaken to their spiritual gifts and support them through their spiritual awakening process so that they can consciously create the life and business of their dreams. Listen to that gorgeous sentence. So first of all, I had to embrace the fact that I was calling myself Spiritual Awakening Babe. And who am I to call myself that? Who am I to call myself that? But once you start speaking of yourself in this different way, it starts coming down from the I'm waving my arms around in case you are listening to this and not seeing it, coming down from the cosmos. and it starts to sink in, and it starts to embody itself and embed itself into your being. And then you start believing that that's who you are. And when we believe something, we take action based on that belief. Simple as that, really. So you guys, let me take a sip of my green juice. Like I said, it's matcha and collagen. It's really good. I actually really like it. So who are you now? Like, who do you see yourself to be in a financial status? Who are you when it comes to money? Because you got to kind of go through all the stages of your life. There's one of my great friends, she calls it the 5 pillars, right? So Heather's going first. She says, I'm a psychic, intuitive, and spiritual coach and mentor, right? So she's calling herself, right? Oh, I love all these ones coming in. Hey, Dave, I'm so glad you're here. Emma, she says, I am a healer. And so she says, I'm a healer, right? And so also, what is that healer? How does that healer relationship with money? How does that healer, being a healer, change your relationship with how much you love yourself, with the boundaries that you're going to put in place, right? So, and Heather, how does saying I'm a psychic, intuitive, and spiritual coach, right? How does that feel to you? Okay, first it maybe feels kind of scary, but then it, as it starts to really sink in and manifest into your system, you're going to go, oh my gosh, well, if I'm the spiritual coach, then I'm going to do these things. And the one thing I want to say, right? Dave says, I am a medium. That's freaking awesome. So Dave, how does being a medium change your identity of who you thought yourself before, right? So you're coming out of the broom closet, as we call it. Like, I am a medium to the world. And how does that change your relationship with the people in your life? And I think this is where a lot of you guys hold yourselves back, because you're scared to step into a new identity because of the people in your life. But forget them. This is important. You got shit to do, right? It's scary inside, and it's so emotional. And so I want to touch on that, the so emotional, because it's almost like she's allowing herself to love herself enough to call herself who she really is. And that's where the emotions come in, because you're having a breakthrough, right? And you might judge yourself. And so I want to share with you guys, don't get hung up on this judgment stuff, like the spiritual awakening babe, right? Because everybody's always going to judge you, right? No matter what, you're going to be judged, because people only see you as much as they could see themselves, right? It's all based on their ego, right? Because all they know is themselves. Nobody will ever truly know you. No one will ever truly know you. So therefore, everyone will always somewhat judge you in a way, right? I love all these that are coming through. Yeah, Jen's saying being a light for others feels exhausting, but the reward feels to your soul. That right there says you don't have enough boundaries if you're exhausted, right? I'm in the same boat. My boundaries need to I need to kick my own ass with my boundaries right now, this moment, right? We don't have to be perfect in order to call ourselves something, right? So you're a psychic medium. You could say that, but does that mean that you're you know all? No, that doesn't. You don't have to. Maybe you're a psychic medium that specializes in life purpose. It's okay, right? Yeah, and so Natalie's saying, I'm an angel communicator, right? She's a psychic medium healer and angel communicator. So that's even better. So she's even saying, I'm a psychic medium, and I'm probably receiving this information from angels. So that's the type of divine information that's going to flow through her. And when we're stepping into these, and you don't, like a lot of you guys are, saying psychic and mediumship and healers because you're in our community. But if you're out there and you're a beauty consultant, or you're growing your brand online, right? Yeah, and then somebody says, I'm an aura cleansing healer. So I love that, right? So once you are able to embrace this identity, this new name, then what I invite you to do next is like go around for the rest of your day, for the rest of this week rather, and keep referring to yourself when you keep having the triggers. Something's going to trigger you to play small again, and be like, oh no, I am. And I would invite you even to name yourself, even, I am psychic medium of the West. I don't know, but like, even like play with it and allow it to be authentic to yourself. Like, so here's an example. Like, I'm the green juice medium, right? I'm the tree loving psychic medium, or something along those lines that really brings it into who you really are. Because the more that you can go, well, okay, I'm a medium, or I'm a coach and I'm scared shitless, or I'm a millionaire. I am now a millionaire, right? Or I am now something really big, speaking to the masses, like Tony Robbins, or somebody, or Gabby Bernstein, or something along those lines. And then if you can attach that, because the way your brain works, here's a little brain, right? Is it attaches cells together. So for example, if you were ever a smoker, which I was many, many, many years ago, spicy food would attach to it's time for a cigarette, or after sex, it's time for a cigarette. So your cells attach to each other. So you could use this handy dandy thing to attach cells to your new identity, right? So you can say things that you're so like, I freaking love tacos, right? Like, that's such my weakness, or nachos, just forget about it. So I know that to be so true of myself. So if I could attach tacos or nachos to spiritual awakening, babe, it's okay to eat tacos, right? It's all right. You could still be spiritual and eat a taco. So then it's almost like you're allowing yourself to really dive deep into that new identity, because you're linking cells together, right? So I love Lisa just says, I'm the hippie empath from Austin, Texas. So there you go. So now she's stepped out of her comfort zone by claiming a new identity, but also linking it to an existing identity that she knows to be so true, right? Now we're doing this, and now we're going to start taking action on being a hippie empath from Austin, Texas. Whether we're offering it as a service in a business, or whether it's just us stepping into this identity. Like, something that's so big for me is that money mindset that has changed. You know, this whole spiritual awakening has really, really helped me with mindset in general. Like, I'm talking about thoughts, but think about going to the mail, checking the mail. That used to be a stress producing experience for me, because I perceived myself to be lack. I perceived myself to be needing help from the outside world. Like, you know, somebody needs to save me, right? So when I shifted that to, I'm creating my freaking amazing life, book number 1, by the way, if you haven't checked that out. And funny, synchronistic, there goes my husband to go check the mail. Go check that mail. Go check that mail, because something freaking amazing is going to be in there, right? So when you could shift your identity of who you believe yourself to be, you're going to shift it all across the board, and you're going to start reaping the rewards of stepping into the person and identity that you want to become. By the way, I do have to say, there is such an in-depth training on identity and how you could step into a new identity inside our Alignment Academy, which is our monthly membership program. You can come in or leave at any time, but you won't want to leave. I did that almost a year ago, an identity training. It's like an hour long, I think. 45 minutes, an hour. So if you guys want to see that and really do some self-work, jump inside our academy. But otherwise, listen to this over and over. Let it sink in. Let this light shine inside of you somewhere, so that you could spark something inside of you to step outside of that comfort zone and start calling yourself who you're meant to be, so that you can step into that identity. Awesome stuff, right? So continue, like, let me push around this button here. Stop. Okay. Hold on. This is me trying to work 2 machines at the same time, because I want to get that on the podcast, because it's so awesome. So I'm sending you guys love. Tomorrow I want to jump in here and I want to talk to you guys about your chakra system, and tomorrow's training, you're going to be able to feel your chakra system opening and closing, so that you know when you're open to receive and when you're closed to receive. So I'm sending you guys all love. Hope to see you here tomorrow. And I can't wait to welcome you to the Alignment Academy when you decide to really consciously create your life. I love you. See you tomorrow. Have a gorgeous day.